public would stand, nation, God, visible, liberty and justice for all.
New business, town council action on the ride decision, Mr. Everett?
Yes, I've attached, well, at our last meeting, we had heard that the council was going to appeal RIDE's decision regarding the $367,000. In your packet, I've just included the letter from Mr. Tights to the Board of Regents requesting their appeal.
Is there a timeline for the Regents to hear the appeal?
I would have to check. I believe there is. I just don't know what it is. I'll have to. Have talked to Attorney Robinson, and he said we'll be waiting to hear from the Board of Regents as to when they schedule the appeal. But we haven't heard anything yet. But I'll find that out what the window is.
I just have a few questions for Mr. Fiore. First of all, it says the second issue related to the out-of-district tuition payments and whether the school committee is entitled to a windfall from tuitions. That's not a windfall. That's payment of tuitions for the students that come here, per student, right?
Right. I believe the intent of those tuition payments are to offset the cost of those students attending the Tiverton schools.
Right. That's all it is. The children come here. Fall River sends us the payment for the children, right?
Correct. It's a tuition
You know,
agreement.
so the other thing is, on the other page, it says, the town may properly place out-of-district tuition payments into the town's general fund so long as the funds are ultimately credited to the use of the school committee. That seems to be the same line that the decision said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we have to be able to use them
That's correct.
for,
I believe the RIDE decision wasn't very explicit on the mechanics of how something like this works, so I think this letter is just seeking more clarification on how that would work. And
but
maybe-
it's supposed to come to us, though.
That's our interpretation.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a matter of how the school committee's budget would receive these funds.
Right,
is what-
but that's what it's for.
That's.
I don't know
Attorney
how it's
Robbins.
going to pass through, but
Right, and I think that's all the clarification.
in the
is
end,
for.
yeah. Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any questions about that? August school committee calendar?
Yeah, I put this item on the agenda because I believe at our last meeting, there was some discussion as to whether or not that first meeting in August was something the committee might want to put off and just have one meeting in August. So I put it on there for discussion purposes.
How does the committee
Okay.
feel?
I just know I heard it. I didn't make it up. So and I know there was no vote, obviously, because we didn't have it on the agenda at the time, so.
Are we in need of it?
Yeah, do we have anything pressing since we're
Not
meeting
on,
today?
not
though?
for the 9th
Okay.
that I have.
Oh, how does the committee feel?
Sounds good.
That's
There's
fine.
nothing to go over.
You don't think the second meeting agenda will be particularly long?
Well, we'll just have some hires for the 23rd. The bigger agenda will come in September when we do our reports, our opening of the schools and things like that. But those two meetings in September will be pretty busy.
And when were we gonna start looking at the uniform chart of accounts data? Like, we really had talked about starting to dig into that,
For the-
maybe October-ish? Are you
For the 2010 year.
Yeah.
We can have it as soon as the next meeting. I mean, the detail that we have is ready. You know, as far as comparison to the other communities, we're probably still a ways off from that.
Yeah.
They're going to probably give us another 8 weeks or so before we submit that data to Providence. And were you looking for ours more than the comparative
No, I think
information at this
both.
point?
I think
I mean,
both.
I can certainly keep the committee updated as to
Yeah, I think
when
I
that
was looking for
information
both,
becomes
because we
available.
were kind of talking about using that in conjunction with the budget, which is clearly way off, but, you know, the sooner we... but
Sure, I'll keep you
But
posted.
if they don't have the comparison yet, I think I'd like to see...
Oh, yeah, it's very early for that. We haven't
Okay.
submitted our information to RIDE yet for
Okay.
2011.
Mr. Burgundy, how do you feel about the meeting?
I think it makes no sense to meet just to meet. The agenda is pretty much empty. I think we should as well skip it.
Do you need a vote, Mr. Everett, or is it consensus?
I think it would be nice if you voted just to make it official.
Okay, could I have a motion, please?
Motion that we do not hold our August 9th meeting.
Second. All those in favor?
And Elaine, you'll just put, I don't know, I guess we technically don't need to just put anything that was canceled.
We'll let
Second.
Marcia,
Secretary of State.
and we'll
just so-
also let the, the patch know and Marcia
Okay.
that we're not meeting, so they don't have to
Okay,
spend any
thank
time.
you.
Bid award Tiverton Middle School telephone intercom system.
Yes, the bids closed yesterday and were opened, and Al and Doug went through them, and I'm recommending that for the website software package that eChalk be awarded the bid for the school department's new website software package for $8,274.56.
And is that a one-time only fee, or is there a yearly subscription fee or maintenance fee?
There's a yearly subscription fee, maintenance fee.
And what is that fee?
It was about $4,700 a year after this initial cost.
Okay, so the first year, the total is this
80
$8,300, and then after that,
Correct.
we pay about $4,700 a year?
Correct, and despite this one being slightly more on the initial cost, long-term, it's actually cheaper to go with the option we're recommending, so it more than offsets that slight differential in the first year.
Oh, because the annual cost for the second was more.
That's correct.
It's important to note that this isn't a change, this is money we're already spending, we're just gonna do it with the new package versus the way we're doing it.
So we already spend 47 a year?
Yeah, through the Microsoft licensing agreement, we're using the software we use from Microsoft, and we're hosting it here on a server that's here. As you've heard me discuss in the past, some of the servers are getting older, they're expensive to replace. I think it's a much more efficient model, and offers a lot more potential in terms of communication with the community at large. This package will provide us with the opportunity to provide websites in the district, buildings, and teacher websites. So I think it will be a significant improvement and significant cleanup, if you will, in terms of the organization of our website and how we communicate.
And uniformity, will there be any kind of instruction for teachers as to how they build their web pages?
Yes, there's an instructional piece, there's certain predetermined amount of hours in here.
But you're also planning to have a session as
Yeah,
well.
we're going to. In order for us to roll out, in my opinion, in order to do it properly, and to be successful, which is what our ultimate goal is, for me to meet probably in small groups.
It's going to be similar to what we did with iParent. We rolled it out in 2 training sessions so that the high school will be ready to go in September. So we would do a similar model, follow a similar
I
model,
will provide the
obviously.
directions, but then I will probably individually meet with small groups and make sure everyone understands, knows how to post the information, content info, and whatnot.
Is there a template basically for a teacher, or you should probably develop it and just everyone should look uniform in the same way? Obviously, they can
Yeah.
That's the benefit.
update the content, but not the.
It'll all
No,
have
for the
same
templates, they can
banner.
use their own,
It'll all
for
have
their
the
own
same banner.
websites.
And are the
In other
tabs
words,
Understand, but everyone has
based
to
on
look
the
pretty
web?
much the same as opposed to
Yes.
so
They have to be-
the whole thing is
Yeah,
use
they-
the same template for every teacher. You can vary between middle school and high school and elementary school, but the same look and feel should be used across the board.
Yeah.
And does it allow for widgets?
Yeah, there are several options, blogging, there are several different options that you can place in there. I think, well, that'd be fantastic to start with that. I think we'll get there at some point. I think the initial features that we're really looking at is some consistency throughout. So for example, all the banner pages will have the similar color scheme. Now the district might have one banner because it's the district, but then in the middle school, we'll have, a different, slightly different banner, but still ties to the same color scheme. You'll know you're within the same page. The goal is to keep all the content within one location so that people are not clicking on links, it goes to all different locations. It's dynamic, meaning that if you make a change in one location, it passes through to all the others. So for example, right now, I might make a change for the school calendar on, our secondary page, but then I find out later on that, hey, they put another link that's not linked to the first one, and it's got the old calendar. So you have to know, okay, well, it's in 4 locations. You avoid that with this type of package. And as Jan was indicating, yes, there are templates. It's very easy to use. We used a similar system in the previous district I was in, and it was quite successful to the point where teachers were putting homework assignments on there. They eventually were putting out a calendar so that students knew what they were doing for the entire week. And some parents also knew. They posted after-school hours in case some teachers say, I stay after school on Thursdays. That's right on the website, you'll see that. They call it office hours, but it'll be, from 3 to 4, I stay after school. Those are all the benefits to the system. It's password protected, login password protected, and we're looking now to explore the options, which I believe in their literature, we can link it to their existing accounts here on the network. So I believe it'll just be a one password type scenario, where you have one password for one password for the other. It's all the same. So.
I just think, Al, it would be probably beneficial to treat this as an opportunity to actually design this whole system right. So it means
Yes.
you can maybe even propose it to us, because this is basically the image of the school departments to the world. So it's not micromanaging, in my opinion. If you could propose to us how this is going to be revamped, because right now all the high school, all the systems website was done by volunteers, and it was a great work, but this is not a professional
Right.
looking website. It's kind of
We can roll out the
1980s,
look to
90s.
the committee when we have it ready.
correct, and probably
Before
in
we
some
go
way
live with it.
preserving just through look and feel to make sure that you understand where you are. So maybe, I don't know if it's per school or per level of school, and providing very specific templates, no choices. This is a template for every teacher in Ranger, or this is a template for every teacher in elementary school, whatever you feel might work. So people,
Reading through the literature and looking at some of their example websites, I suspect within the first 6 weeks, if this is approved, we will be, in the next 6 weeks, creating what they call it in terms of sandbox, which is something area you play with. It's not public, but there's a background link where we will be creating, or I will be creating the district webpage, proposing how it's going to look, and supplying the content necessary for the opening of school. I will also be working with each administrator and their clerk secretaries at the building level to create the school building website, if you will. And that's been actually a big, not concern, but a request that I keep receiving over and over again from the buildings. They would like to have more control, locally on some of the things for their building. If they want to put a message up right now, they have to send it to one person and wait for them to post it.
Right, they want to be
It's a
able to
bottleneck.
control posting, but I
Right.
think to Mr. Burgundy's point, that has to be limited to, you want them to be able to do it, but you want it to be consistent
Right.
throughout.
Well, that's this
Absolutely,
software
the
makes
same
it
information will be available to all schools. Now,
Or the look.
hopefully they'll all avail themselves of that, the amount of, what information we say we want, this is what we want to see, how you show it, will be up to you, how you want to frame it.
I will forward up the example links to all of you through the email system so you can see what other districts have done and what I'm envisioning. We use a similar package. Actually, I found out this morning that I believe the district I was in is going to each offer if they already haven't. But I will send out some example links as to what districts have done. But speaking to Deb's point and Jan's point, yes, the purpose of all this is to make it consistent. So all the menu toggles, everything's either on the left or the top. On every page, no matter where you're at, it's all similar menus. So it's not, click to all the way to the right-hand corner for this page, but all the way to the bottom left. Everything is going to be very standardized, but at the same time, delivering a lot of content, a lot of material.
And we also want.
And they'll have direct access
Right.
that they don't have now.
That's
So I do
correct.
know that's been a big
Right.
Yes.
frustration.
We also want ease of access to get common information. So when people go to our main page, it's easy to access
All of them,
all
common
of, whether it's school calendars, because right now it's kind of a hodgepodge, it's very busy. You have to kind of hunt through to find certain things, so that's another goal, is to make it easier for everybody, user-friendly for
Right.
not only people internally, but also externally.
I think you'd be very pleased with, once the product is up and running, you'd be very pleased with all three components: district, building, and teacher websites. And I think our biggest, I don't say challenge, but our biggest effort is going to be is giving the teachers the training to make them confident enough to be able to go in there and put some stuff on. And you'll see that confidence build. We've got a few teachers that spring out there, they want to do it right away. We have in the high school already that are trying to do their own web pages with the existing system. It's not very efficient or friendly. But you're going to see some teachers that spring right out there, and then you can just gradually see teachers are going to like it. I think they're going to really like it, and they're going to jump on board. because it's gonna reduce some of the effort, because the effort in the back end to put content up, but in the long term, parents and students are gonna be able to have access to what they need.
Same thing what happens with email, am I right? It's just
Yes, I mean,
gradual,
it's
some
something
people
new,
jumped
I'm
it,
sure
some
there's
people
things
slowly
Right.
adjusted, and
Now
now everyone's
uses
using it.
Yeah.
Right, so it will be a big improvement.
I move that we approve that.
Second.
Any other questions? Danielle? No? Carol? All set? Okay. All those in favor?
Thank you. The next bid proposal I'm asking the committee to approve is for our improved communication system, telephone, intercom, and clock project at the middle school. We had 2 bidders, and we are recommending the low bidder, CS&M, for $73,672 and 39 cents, and that amount will be split up over 5 years as per our budget.
Did we have this in the budget?
Yes.
Yes. To make the first payment?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
15,000.
I know,
Yes, we
so
had-
just make sure
Yes,
that
no, that's the money that we put aside.
15 times. Oh, okay, so, well, we have to increase it.
Well, 15 times 575,
Spread out
over
over 5.
5. So
Yeah.
this is just under the,
Yeah, 14,
That's fine.
735 a year, 5
And then
years.
after the 5 years, we own the system, and
yes.
is there a yearly maintenance fee?
CS&M is the company that currently services our intercom systems and things like that now. So they do all our repairs.
I
So-
believe we're on a
So-
pay-as-you-go, though. I don't believe.
No,
there's
we're
a-
at pay-as-go, we don't have a,
Once
Oh,
something
so-
breaks, you have to.
Okay.
once,
Okay, so
it's like
after
a
the
car
5
warranty,
years,
after the 5 years.
We only have a fee if we have to call them
That's
in.
correct, there's only a fee to
It would
fix
actually
it.
be after the warranty expired, is what you did at the term of the warranty. But in any event, it's our equipment once the.
Just like the other buildings, you know.
Just like the high school now, we own if
basically
something
don't-
goes-
we don't have to
goes
take
wrong with it.
warranty contracts.
And is this just replacing what we have essentially, or are there new features that this has that the old one didn't?
There are some new features. The existing phone system at the middle school does not have voicemail.
Okay.
It's a very old system. You're more than welcome anytime you're in the building, if you want to give me a call, I'll show it to you real quick. The old one.
But it's not just A for A, it's, we're actually
No.
getting new.
No,
It's
you-
improved. It's a phone system. It also has the voicemail capabilities, the old system.
And you're also improving the ability to communicate into the classrooms.
The intercom,
The
clocks.
intercoms, the clocks will all be now
There are two
working
different
where,
separate
The
bells.
clocks will be all like synchronized
Digital
now and.
synchronized.
They're going to be
Yes.
digital, synchronized, you can change it from one point of location, you can manage the system through a web interface. All the bells,
And when-
there are 2 bell systems, there's the old official bell you hear ring, and then there's a tone system, and they're not synchronized, and matter of fact, they lose synchronization over time, and keep resyncing them,
Yeah.
which costs us money, pay a technician to come in. So this would be a significant improvement to.
and we'll also be making repairs to the system. Again, Patty will be able to make an announcement, an all call, and it will go into all the rooms where currently that doesn't happen because of the system has broken down over the years. So those features will all be put in, plus we'll be, we'll have a functioning communication system within the building.
I move that we approve that.
So this is for the Tiverton Middle School telephone intercom system?
Yes,
That's what we're moving right now?
yes.
Yep.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
All those in favor? And the first one was for the website hosting
Yes.
developmental
Yes.
tool. That was the first motion.
Yes.
Elaine, okay? Because they look like they're backwards. Just want to make sure we get that straight.
Yep.
Yes,
That
because
we
on
voted-
the...
We did them
they
out
were
of
posted.
order.
I
So we got to make
apologize.
sure that
Well,
we
they're
know.
under 3, but
We know that we voted on both of them, okay, Elaine? Because we did those backwards, so I don't want it to be confused.
Now
We need
to go into
executive
exec,
session?
yes.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to
Thanks, Sam.
discuss Council 94 negotiations under SS
Hey, I'll-
42,
do me a favor.
46, 5A2.
Never mind, I need this. Never mind. Don't
Second
forget your
motion.
keys.
All those in
Yes.
favor? Yes, yes, yes.